never done this before. Each of you will get to ask a question of another candidate that's seated. Not someone that's not here, but someone that is seated here, okay? Let me say that again. You get to ask a question of colleagues who are here, not of your colleagues who are running for this position, who are not here. So, let me start with you, Mr. Rolley. Who do you want to ask a question of on this panel? And you will get 2 minutes to respond, and then you get 2 minutes to rebut. Yeah, it's tough, huh?
Okay. I will,
Don't be shy, come on, because I know you guys want to ask each other questions.
well, obviously, the person who we all want to ask a question to.
She's not here, let's go to somebody who's here.
Okay, I will ask, Jody Landers a question.
Go right ahead.
Since you're sitting right next to me. As a Democratic candidate for mayor for the city of Baltimore, if for some reason something happened and you were not able to press the button to vote for yourself, who would you vote for?
Audience, please hold it down, hold it down, hold it down. Mr. Landers, you have 2 minutes.
That's a really good question. In all honesty, I haven't thought about it because I consider myself to be the best and the most qualified. So, but there's always a write-in option. You know, you always have the option of writing in someone, and I might consider that option.
That's it. Would you like to rebut, Mr. Rowley? Well, let's go to Mr. Landers. Mr. Landers, you get to ask anybody amongst this panel, esteemed panel that we have. And let's not throw the softballs. Come on, let's get into it. Ask somebody a good question.
You're a rabble-rouser, I can tell. Okay, I'm going to return the favor to Mr. Rolley. I have seen in one of your platforms that you were talking about building 50 new schools over a 10-year period of time, which the average cost of the school is $50 to $100 million. And I guess my question to you is this. Do you see that as a conflict with your platform of investing back in program and children, and instead taking the emphasis off of program and educational opportunities and putting it into physical plan, which is what we're trying to get away from in terms of glitzy buildings in the Inner Harbor? I mean, the whole thing is serving people. It's not necessarily putting all of our dollars into buildings.
Shortly, how do you?
So first of all, it's a huge overestimation in terms of how much each of the facilities will cost. But let me just say this. My children, all of Baltimore's children deserve the best. They currently walk into, in many of the schools, they walk into prison prep schools. It feels like a prison, it's heated like a prison, it smells like a prison. And I don't necessarily see a problem with demanding and expecting the best in terms of facilities. There is no conflict whatsoever in wanting more for our kids. If you read the plan, what I talk about is 50 new or majorly rehabbed buildings over the course of 10 years. And the reality is this: Greensville, South Carolina has done it. Washington, D.C. is doing it. We can do it here in the city of Baltimore if we so choose to. A public-private partnership can help to finance it, and surprisingly, the current mayor, the one who's not here, said that they want to do a public-private partnership to fund the arena and convention center. Interesting. We need new and glitzy for our tourists, but we don't seem to want good, great, and glitzy for our kids. I want them to know that they are valued, and I think their physical plans do matter. It's ridiculous that 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, they had to stay home because the schools were too hot, because we don't have HVAC. Interestingly enough, the convention center was nice and cool, And so tourists come to visit. Students are here to stay. And we need to be investing in a way that we start building the city. We need to invest in a way so that we tell our children they matter. And currently, the way we put our dollars doesn't show that.
Very good. You have 2 minutes to rebut that.
What I would say is it's important to keep in mind that the entire city school system is not an abject failure. The fact is there are some schools that are failing some children. There are a lot of children who are doing quite well and learning and do go out into the workforce and do go on to college. So I think we have to keep that in mind. My point in this is that I want to stay away from emphasizing the physical structure because that costs a tremendous amount of money. I want to invest in the people, in the teachers, in the training, in the resources. You know, the idea that we have the resources that we're going to be able to put into all these physical plants is beyond me. I mean, we're strained now in order to pay for the services that we have. I do agree we need to replace schools, but you know, I just don't see, I mean, and you said, you elaborated on it here. I guess I was basing it on what your statement was, and that was, it says 50 new schools. And I had a hard time understanding that. It didn't say 50 plus renovation, it said 50 new schools.
Gentlemen, thank you very much.